Mind maps.
What?
Literally my favourite thing ever. I actually made 15.
I think they're really, really useful.
To add pictures to it as well. Not my thing.
But it doesn't work for me.
I think I'm going to take them down.
I absolutely adore mind maps. I think at this point there's probably not a single subject that I haven't made a mind map for. Characters in English, poems in English, everything in English. I've made one for Banquet. I've made one for King Duncan. Jacob Marley.
There's more!
I've made way too many.
I love them. I find them really, really good for information and I find them really, really handy. I think mind maps are a great way to consolidate knowledge. For my GCSEs, I made a lot of mind maps. For example, in English literature, I actually made 15 for each of the poems that you have to learn.
15!
I am not a fan. I like things to be in order. So like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, what?
What the hell is this?
Is that first? Is that... It just really confuses. I don't think that useful as well. Like, there's definitely better resources for revision.
I like mind maps for the essay-based subjects that I do, which are English, RE and history, because you can kind of see the links between the topics. And I think they're useful for subjects to have a lot of content, because mind maps then help to like break them down.
I think they're really, really useful, especially for first stage revision when you're just putting knowledge down onto paper. However, I don't think they're very good for last minute revision. You're not really learning the knowledge, you're just reading it instead of testing yourself.
I do not like mind maps at all. I just find it difficult to condense information.
I can't stand them. I never use them for revision. It's quite good if you're just writing out a list of things that you need to include in your revision. However, I would never just revise from a mind map. It just doesn't work for me.
I like mind maps, but I don't use them regularly. Like, I'll use them for geography case studies. Everything else I prefer writing handwritten notes because it's just easier for me.
I like mind maps because they're relatively easy to use.
I use mind maps all the time at A-level and at GCSE. It helps you learn and it's really good for visual learners as opposed to people who just like write stuff down.
I have used mind maps in the past. I felt like I didn't really learn from them though. They were good to make, like to condense all your notes, but like there's other methods that I find more useful for me.
I don't really like them. We don't have a good relationship.
Are you breaking up with me?
I feel like it's too much information all in one place. It just doesn't motivate me to revise, and you have to be quite arty to get a good mind map. You need to have good handwriting, you need to have good art skills.
Personally, I find it quite hard to revise from them, as I prefer more active sort of learning within like flashcards and things.
I like to use mind maps, and I especially love to use them for English to help me remember quotes, especially for poetry, because we have like 15 poems to learn.
Don't really use them. I used to in like year 9, and then I realised they didn't really work for me.
Your way doesn't work.
When I'm doing revision, I wouldn't go straight to a mind map, so I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's go for a mind map. I would rather go for like flashcards or something.
Teachers are always like, yeah, let's use mind maps in science, and I'm just like, it doesn't work for me. Like, please don't make me make a mind map, because seriously, they just don't work for me.
I think mind maps are useful, but it depends on the subject. Drama, I just did practice papers, whereas when it came to English or science, I did a different mind map.
It was literally my go-to revision technique when I was revising my GCSEs. I'm just quite a visual learner as well, so it's quite nice to be able to draw like a big mind map, loads of different branches coming off, and also just to colour code it as well.
I personally love using mind maps, but obviously not for like maths or anything, because you can't really mind map stuff like that.
Not with that attitude.
I have a whole revision book full of just mind maps on different topics.
I used them a lot in my GCSEs and I found them really helpful. I think it's quite useful for like displaying information. I do really like mind maps.